Alright, guys, it's William Jamie here. So it's a great background image in it. So yeah, every time I look at it, I think it's be amazed by the advancement that the artificial intelligence that's advanced nowadays. And yeah, but let's continue. It's a bootcamp about game dev, so let's use some game engine. So you can go to the website of Unitywe.com, and of course there is another engine called the Unreal Engine, which is a great graphic. But let's start with Unity, right? Because Unity using the C# rather than C++, which is I think arguably the C++ is a little bit complicated than the C#. And C# is pretty similar than Java, and I'm good at Java, so let's start with the C#. And of course, as the tutorial goes on, I will introduce you guys about the Unreal Engine, which is great for graphic, but Unity nowadays can get a lot of better graphic than before, but what I think and what I like about Unity is that it's cross-platform support. So basically, if you just build a certain web Unity engine, and you can sort of compile that and distribute that. So there's a lot of different platforms. For example, you want to say publish certain apps on App Store, you can do that just with a click and a basic registration of an app developer, and you can do that. And of course, if you want to export on Android, that's a much simpler process. You can just use your any of the Android phone, and you can test it out yourself, which is a great fun if you want to just share your game and test it out with your friends. And of course, you can build app using the technology called WebGL, which means that you can run your app at a web browser. It's an amazing time to be alive. And so let's use that to test it out and use the power of C# as well as Unity engine first, and then once you got the idea of how game developing actually works, you can just continue to learn my another tutorial about Unreal Engine, which uses the language C# and not C#, but C++. Sorry, silly me. And so basically you need to download that Unity, and Unity, remember, is a not open source project, but rather is you need to pay for it. But don't worry if you just learn from it. You can just use the personal version of it, and it's 100% free as long as you don't you haven't earned maybe 1 year of $10,000 US. I'm not so sure about their policy right now because they constantly change. I don't know whether they change it or not. I just retrieve that information from my memory, and hopefully that's correct. Okay, so basically you can download that, and I think nowadays everything is handled at a Unity hub rather than a certain Unity version. So they got a sort of hub management program for that, and they got a great authentication system embedded inside it, and they're building a cloud system. So we will discuss that later on, but for now, just getting started and download that Unity hub. So just click it, you can just go to just download plan pricing. You can just choose the individual and choose the personal or students. It's totally free. And I think that's mostly covered all your learning journey, and you can just download it. And once you download it, you will get something like this, which is called Unity Hub. Let me give you guys this. This is called Unity Hub, right? And basically you can install multiple versions of Unity on it. So if you just click install here, and you guys can see we got lots of versions on it. And here's my recommendation, that's always use the long-term support version. And if you're a little bit more adventurous, you might be able to just choose the latest version of it, but I strongly discourage you to choose that, because unless you are pretty familiar with that and you want to try things out, don't do it, right? Don't do it, because it's unstable and maybe a lot of assets and even the code that you just wrote that runs smoothly. For example, if I demonstrate a certain code for you and everything runs smoothly and you just install the latest version, that may not work. May not work, but does not necessarily mean that it can't work in the future, but you need to retry that, and sometimes it's Unity's fault, okay? So you don't know what to do because it's the unstable version, latest version of it. So yeah, I strongly recommend using your long-term support. And yeah, as we record this, we spent more than 1 year to record this video. So as we record this video, the Unity constantly updating. So without a doubt, when you watch this video, Unity may just update to a newer version of it. You can just choose it, right? You can just choose the newer version, but you want to get 100% bug-free. You want to copy exactly what we did on this video. You can just choose the long-term support version as we are. And if there's major upgrade of the Unity engine, I'm going to add a new video in this series, right? So yeah, so you can just click the official release, and we can just install editor. And this is a funny way of of saying that, because they sort of treat the Unity engine as the editor. So install editor, and currently they got the 2 long-term support LTS version, and I'm going to use the latest 2021 version long-term support for the demonstration purpose. And if they got another long-term support coming out, I'm going to use that as well. But for now, I'm going to use this, and you're going to do exactly what we did in the video. You can just follow and download this as well, right? And once you want to install it, here is a few things that you need to take before you continue. Is that the Android build support if you want to test it out on your Android device, and of course iOS build support if you want to run on iOS. TV OS, yeah, because TV have a terrible gaming experience, so we're not developing on that. Linux support, if you want your game to run on Linux, you can do that, but most of the time just the support of iOS, Android, and Windows. On Mac support, you have to build some, because Unity can also build apps as well, not necessarily games. And yeah, so they can build app and pretty quickly, rather than just type a lot of the code. They kind of got a visual layout editor that you can drag and drop, and yeah, just add a few scripts and you can build the app, and everything that Unity just handled it for you. But yeah, most of the time it's just used for game, because it's a game engine, right? So yeah, iOS support, Android support. I think most of the time people spend time on phones rather than on computer. And if they have to use computer, maybe they will just use the WebGL, which is compatible on the modern web browser, as well as Windows build support, right? And if you're Mac, you can just click on this Mac, like me, Mac user, right? So yeah, and you can continue. Alright, so I continue because I already download that, so I'm not going to spend time waiting to do that. But required 22 gigabytes is pretty big, and don't worry, it will just become bigger and bigger, because it's just one version of Unity. And if you are working on multiple projects, you might be able to just install multiple versions. And don't worry, you can run your projects, choose different version of Unity, but I think most of the time you will run into bugs that you will need to debug. Maybe spend next few hours to debug it, and yeah, bogging your head and don't know what to do. But yeah, you can do that actually. Right, so yeah, so you can just install that, because I already installed that. I'm not going to spend more time on that. Once you got installed, you can just create your project. Okay, so project, and create a new project. yeah, that's basically it. And at this create new project page, you can choose the Unity version that you have just installed in your computer. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to choose the latest version, long-term support version, and that's it. So I think it's pretty long for this video already. So yeah, I will see you on next video. Bye bye. Remember to subscribe if you are still here. And follow me on Twitter if you are still here. Bye bye. For real.